Resident Evil 4 Remake just went on and became gold and now arriving on PCs, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4 and 5 on what they actually mentioned before, March 24. No new trailer over here, just a reconfirmation for those of you who are still in doubt. Resident Evil 4 Remake, guys, is perhaps the most faithful amongst the remake trilogy of the past few years that Capcom released, totally built up from the ground up, and I just found out that the Krauser fight scene, the knife fight scene you'll remember, is actually still in the game. Exactly the same way. Anyway, we're moving on.
Guess you, me, picked the wrong spot to vacation, eh?
You will receive our most sacred body. It begins now.
If I could just forget what happened that night. The pain. Even for a second. This time, it can be different. It has to.
Yes, I can see it.
Why Quake Take More and Team Ninja together? As of first, we've got over here, in case you missed it, an action-adventure since a few months ago in the making going by the name Wulong Fallen Dynasty. I'd like to think, personally, something just like Nia at its basis, but very different when it comes to overall aesthetics and replay value. Guys, Wulong is being developed for all consoles at the moment and set to be released March 3 this year, and they even came up with a new trailer just in case you missed it.
Suffer as these warriors may. Their pain could be the foundation for a new age.
Good Lord in heaven. Rockay City.
Coming up at number 3 by 505 Games. This comes from no more than a few months ago. We've got here once again crime boss Rockay City. I've mentioned this one a couple of weeks ago, touted as a stealth action FPS where y'all work to become a leader at this criminal underworld that's set in also a fictional version of old-time Florida. Here's a trailer. Games is single-player / co-op multiplayer with a campaign, of course, and set to be coming out March 28.
This pill's shipping tonight. We'll be good to go.
Well, I think it's time that we giddy up.
Alrighty, okay. You're being attacked? By whom? Rappers?
Don't you lose my candy, God damn it.
It's Yellow. Come in to plunder our loot. Do not let it happen.
Shit, that's a lot of them! Take them all down! down. Yeah. Get up.
What is the situation?
Mow down these. One down.
I truly wish this was unexpected.
What the fuck happened?
Sir, the blues and all the candy was taken.
And it was this fucker Yellow? Who Casey told me about?
A rival dealer in the party scene. Yellow.
Yeah, Yellow. Don't fucking correct me. Now get it back before dawn.
Fatal Frame Mask of the Lunar Eclipse, a survival horror game that's been in the making by Koei Tecmo since roughly a year ago, and yes, also it's the same game that came out in 2008 for the Nintendo Wii, is now coming over to PCs, fully optimized, voice-over in English and overhauling graphics for not just PCs of course, but into both generations of consoles as well. There's a new trailer in case you missed the game's releasing March 9.
この奥にずっとずっと奥深く深く探さないと大切なここにきっと何かあるはず本当はここに来たくなかった思い出したくなかった
事件は終わっていないのか。神楽はこの島の人間にとって大切なもの。何が起こってたんだ。あなたは咲くの。あの場所で待ってる。そう。私たちは見てしまった。忘れたの？
月旅が始まる。
に咲いてしまえばいい。
Once again by the fine publishers Prime Matter, from no more than a couple of months ago we have, in case you missed it, a turn-based RPG that takes players on a journey on a fantasized, neo-futuristic version of a lost city on Earth. In story, in case you're wondering, a game called Mato Anomalies. This game is, as you can see, an anime-style visual novelish detective noir RPG and set to be coming on all consoles and PCs March 10 this year. Here's a new trailer.
That such a place exists. What's this? Stay back! The gun is useless!
Back off, unless you wish to die. This is above your pay grade. There is no common sense as far as they're concerned. Why try to solve a problem when you can eliminate it? Good or evil, judgment is at hand. Let's be quick. Show me your work, Tonatrus.
The very notion disgusts me.
Look upon my works, foul creatures,
And weep at its magnificence.
Now, System Shock's remasters sitting on Steam through a demo, up for pre-purchase for the price of $40 and finally releasing for PC's past generation of consoles only mid to late March this year. It's official. To accompany the good news, we actually got a new trailer. Like I mentioned, a free demo on Steam which runs really good and smooth, specifically if you've got a Steam Deck. Go ahead and make sure to give the demo a shot for yourself.
Challenge a perfect, immortal machine.
You are an insect
You are nothing. I create. I iterate. I fuse flesh and steel into perfection. My children, their blood is on your hands.
You will suffer for your transgressions.
These are my avenging angels, and they will have retribution.
At number 7, we've got here from roughly 3 months ago by Red Art Games, totally brand new IP called Oni, Road to the Mightiest. Oni is an action-adventure semi-open world, story-focused based on the folks of Japanese, in fact heavily inspired by the Japanese myth and demons in overall aesthetic. Yeah, game set to be coming to PlayStation consoles and PCs only in March 8 this year.
Ich begebe mich auf diese Reise.
Ubisoft and Blue Bytes just came out with the announcement that Anno 1800 is now gold and coming over to PCs in the next generation of consoles only March 16 this year. See, Anno 1800, for those of you new, is a city building real-time strategy that's mainly a multiplayer for the real fun, but also a single player story-wise. It's actually about the industrial evolution, how and what happened in the 1800s, and technically a story-based, choice-driven campaign to boot. Take a look.
Neue Länder, gründen neue Siedlungen und erweitern das Imperium. Wir haben eine große Zukunft vor uns. Wir stehen an der Schwelle einer neuen Ära. Und es waren unsere Visionen, die uns hierher geführt haben.
Anno, on the other hand, announced roughly a few months ago, as for those of you who missed it, a co-op 4-player horror game, multiplayer of course, about this little town whose locals have been afraid of an old mansion where they believe to have been possessed by some maniac, who's also possessed or whatever. What happens then next is you become a member of a team of Exorcists and eventually get to expel that evil force, hence the name of the game, In Out. You go in and then you hopefully get out. Anyway, this game's set to be released around March this year and coming to PCs only. At number 10, just a quick mention or just a quick shout out over here. If you're looking for a space-based shooter, Boundary here is basically a multiplayer, tactical, one-of-a-kind, zero-gravity first-person shooter, and working pretty much like a Call of Duty, albeit in space. Boundary is set to be coming out fully for PCs in the PlayStation 4 March this year, not just getting gameplay adjustments, but a huge DLC to boot and access for PlayStation 4 in its full eventually. Moving on, we have from July last year, sitting on Steam with pretty mixed reviews, the game Leap. This is a science fiction based first person shooter, probably one of the roughest games on Steam in gameplay, but that is also considering it's in its early access phase and being fine-tuned now, what I hope to be then eventually a success. Seriously, I mean it, this game has a lot of potential, the mechanics are great, the characters are nice, and it's got a kind of a crisp pace to it. There is more content on the way, guys. Leap is due out March 1st this year. Kart has been out there on the Google Play and the App Store for a while and now making its way to PCs in the both generation of consoles by March 8 this year. Guys, for those of you who knew or just missed out on the news, Kart has been one of the more famous kart racing multiplayer games out there since the beginning of the year. It will now even have a DLC coming out for PCs, overhauled graphics of course, tuned gameplay, and more customization options to boot. Been out there on Steam through a free prologue since precisely 2 years ago to this day. We've got here finally coming over to PCs fully March 8th this year, one of the most awaited sim border patrol or just border police and exploration driving management sort of sims on the horizon, a game called Contraband Police. We got a new trailer for this one, and just in case you're wondering about the trailer, this game is actually set about 200 years into the past. Figment to Creed Valley, on the other hand, resurfaced precisely a month ago, is now finally coming over, not this month, but March 9 this year. Now, for those of you who are new, this is a puzzle platform, a sequel to one of the most innovative indie games out there in top-down, and now once again with amped-up visuals, added elements, on top of a new story as well. There's a trailer, game is coming to PCs, PlayStation, and Xbox consoles March 9.
Okay, enough already.
Nobody knows all the trouble we see, but we're all firm beliefs, and someday we will be set free.
Grandpa is dead.
Say the words.
His bones are earth. His flesh is dust.
And last but not least, by Nacon over here, we've got a game called Clash Artifacts of Chaos from its previously planned November 2022 release, then delayed to February 9, and now once again delayed to now finally March 9. Clash, for those of you new, is basically a third-person fighting adventure, semi-martial arts style, but then also a punk fantasy aesthetic, quite a bit inspired by the, you'll see in a second, classics in gameplay. Games due for release across PlayStation and Xbox consoles and PCs March 9 this year.
Gemini has the artifact of pain, and she can use it even if she doesn't win the game of dice. Imagine the power she has to threaten anyone with that.
So why is old Gemini so keen on getting her hands on you?
I'm cursed. That's why Grandpa is dead. That's why my brother hates me. I'm cursed, and everyone I touch is cursed too.
You cannot escape Gemini. I invoke the one law.
No!
What are you doing to the boy?
You think I had a choice?
I don't care about your grand plan.
You will never leave.
While there is no justice,